Alright, this is going to be a review on the Hahn HFP 160 firewood processor. It's mounted on a Rayco 87 horsepower. It's the old forestry mulcher that we got, and we got newer ones now, so this guy is pretty much all it does now is operate the Hahn. Most all this wood we're working up is just tops from logging jobs, leftover stuff that was too small to be shipped to the mill. And we cut it in 8-foot lengths, bring it home, and 8 foot works out into 16-inch increments. And you don't know the last tick, well, unless something happens, fits right on through it, no problems. But all this stuff we're doing up here is only a 4-way or smaller. There's a couple bigger ones that went through it, but all the smaller stuff. We do have the 8-way wedge for it, but if there's only a couple logs in it, it's not that big a deal. We don't need to switch it over for each individual log. We'll just run the bigger stuff through it. It does do up to 16-inch diameter rounds. Any bigger than that, it'll get jammed in there. You got to take an axe to it, and it's a pain. But you can see there, log got around falling there sideways, hung up somehow. If bark gets in there, loose bark, it will get in the conveyor and it won't shoot the stick into the hopper quite right, and it'll just tumble in end over end, and then I'll have to get out and flip it over. Although sometimes I can get lucky and be lazy about it and stick a bucket or the thumb I can get in there just right, and or toothpick it out with one of these sticks that I'm feeding into it. Doesn't always work out that perfect, but if I can stay in the tractor and I have to get out while it's raining like it was on this day, and I'm for it, and just sit in there and listen to the radio and keep jamming. But this here is pretty much the view that you would see from inside the tractor operating and controlling the Hahn. Can't really see much. They got some holes punched inside the hopper there, but other than that you can't really see. I could imagine this thing being very fast, just feeding itself, driving around, flipping each log in there on its own. Try and make it the best I can at the point of it being a video that I wish would have been on YouTube before we bought the Hahn. Before Dad bought it, I didn't buy anything. But researching processors and skid steer type mounted processor attachments and stuff like that, there wasn't really anybody talking about processor itself, so I wanted to try and make a YouTube channel that talks about that stuff. Got it. Oh, you got it. There you go. Like a typical processor, if it's not going to be the right length falling into the hopper, it's not going to work. Oh, you got it, Drew. Like I was saying, I wanted a video showing it in action from different views, people talking about it. These YouTube commentary videos are definitely more exciting to watch than just tractors moving around, because everybody can see tractors moving around. You want to hear somebody talking about it, in my experience anyway. So this is going to be talking about what I think of the Hahn, and I think it's a pretty nice little rig. It's a little unbalanced. It sits kind of cockeyed on the machine, and it's not like a little machine that's sitting on either. It's a Rayco little beefy force mulcher, only 87 horsepower or something like that, but it's not a little sissy. It powers it no problem. But there just wasn't any videos like that. I'm hoping to show you here. I'll do some editing, some different views and stuff. I'm sitting in a Kubota 080 right now, feeding him. By far, this is how you definitely get the production out of it. I don't know if it's, I don't know, if the math works works out for how much an hour each of these two things is for how much firewood comes out. 'Cause firewood ain't really worth anything, but on a rainy day like today, we ain't working, doing anything out in the woods, so. We'll just work this stuff up and, I don't know. Definitely not very fast. Doing the fork technique, you might have seen in other videos that of the Hahn loading itself. If I'm sitting in this thing, there was a big pile of logs right there. I was sorting those things out. We got our all back cleaned up. We got that big pile back there. Stuff that top layer might, run through the Hahn, and definitely stuff that won't fit through the Hahn. And over there, that's how I had the yard sorted out. We had the gravel excavator. But other than that, we're just making firewood here. Something to pass the time at this point. But no, it's a good machine. There's little attachments. I honestly think they're very pricey, but